Hello everyone, welcome back in another video. Today date is 5th of November 2022 and in our today's video we are going to see EC2. So basically EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. So it is the one of the feature which are comes under the AWS. In our previous video we are discuss about the AWS and the Amazon Web Services, and we also see the different advantages of AWS. So in AWS, the most popular and most usable feature is the EC2. So EC2 is a elastic compute cloud. So it provides a particular space on a virtual machine. That means we know the virtual machine. The virtual machine means the machine which is having a compute and storage. The meaning of compute is that compute means it's self-intelligence. Suppose if you are passing some value, suppose we are passing 5 plus 5, it gives output as a 10. So that is the intelligence. That means when we are passing there any code, so it that EC2 that compute that code and give the output of that particular code. So that is the computing. So that computing is happen virtually, virtual machine. So in AWS, that computing or that virtual machine can called as instance. So when we are creating any account on AWS, that time we have to create any instance. So we can able to create an instance in our AWS account. So there was a different types of instance are there. That means in our PC, the instance are created in different regions. So regions means there are different locations like US, UK, and our in our Asia region, Asia there is a Mumbai region. So in that Mumbai region, we can also create a instance. So if there is any restriction or provision for the creation of instance, so that is the real fact. We can create maximum 20 instance in any region. If we have to increase the number of instance in our AWS own account, that time we can do it, but we have to extend the limit of their instances. So that means not if we only create a 20 instance in our account, we can create 20 instance in one region. So there was a different regions we can create. Suppose we are creating 20 instance in Mumbai, then we can also create a 20 instance in US, then we can create also 20 instance in UK. So there was a region wise differentiate. So when we are using the instance, that time AWS can get or charge the bill in terms of hourly basis. Okay. Now recently they are changing their policy and they can include also per second basis charges also they can include. That means if we are using only 2 hours, that time they charge only for 2 hours. That means as compared to other web services like our Microsoft's Azure, Google's Cloud, so they can charge a fees in like a monthly basis, but AWS can charge us in terms of hourly basis. That means we are installing the instance, but if we are surfing for 2 hours on instance, they only charge the charge for the particular 2 hours. If we are using that PC for 8 hours, then we have to only pay for that 8 hours. Like that, if we are using 2 hours and 10 minutes, so we have to only pay for that 2 hours and 10 minutes. So that is the major advantage of our AWS. That's why the up to 80% market get captured by the AWS, and now AWS is on top. So some more advantages of our AWS or instance creation. We can create instance. That time we have to flexibility that the virtual machine which we are launching on our server, there was a multiple options of the launching of those on a server. So there was different options like Linux machine, Windows machine, or Red Hat or Tomcat. There are different kind of machines are available, and as per our requirement, we can create any kind of instance on the server. So one more advantage is that when we are creating any machine on an instance, that time we have authority to create instance as per our requirement. That means we have to able to provide the how much memory we should require, or what kind of a memory. That means the internal memory we have, suppose 256 GB internal we require, and we have to extend that memory externally by 1 TB or 250. So that there is the feasibility is provided by AWS. That means we are flexible to give them configure and create our own virtual machine on that. And suppose if we are creating any instance on AWS, and suddenly we have to feel that the instance which are created that is not feasible for workers. So there was one more advantage is that we can upgrade that instance. That means we no need to create one more instance. We can easily upgrade that instance. That is the one more important and useful feature of EC2. That means we are using the EC2. That time we are flexible with all those things. And after in the process of creating the instance, that time we simply have to create a live instance. That means when we are creating account, that time there is not any instances present. That time we simply have to create that one step-by-step process to create an instance. That time firstly we have to go in a section of a search box, and we have to search the EC2. Then we have to open the EC2 option, and we have to put the particular name for that instance. And after putting the name, we have to select the machine type, that is the Linux, Windows, or Red Hat, whatever we want. And after that we have to select the specification for the particular machine. After that we have to generate a key pair. That time we are only pass the key pair name, and that key pair is downloaded in our machine. After that we have to pass that key pair for generating a password. And that time when the password is generated, that time there is a one more option to download that instance. That means suppose we are taking a Windows instance, that time there is a download pop-up menu for a Windows instance. When we download that instance, then there is a requirement of a password, that password which are already downloaded. So we can pass that password, and we get easily access of that particular instance. So that instance is nothing but that is the virtual machine. On that machine we can visibly work our requirement. Instance requiring some of the places like the companies, they cannot afford the machine. They only take a instance. They take a particular space on a cloud, on our AWS cloud, and they pay for that particular system or a cloud on an hourly basis. So that is the one more major advantage of a AWS and EC2. So there was a different types of EC2s are there. Up to 6 to 7 different types of EC2s are there. We can discuss those types in another videos. So this is overall basic about the EC2. Thank you.